Raise your hand if every AI headline makes you feel like your career is standing in the middle of the road and something huge is coming around the corner. Because right now, the headlines are everywhere. Meta layoffs, Wix layoffs, Groupon restructuring, AI native companies, agentic workflows, CEOs talking about doing more with fewer people. And the internet keeps asking one dramatic question: is AI going to replace your job? But I think that question is incomplete. The better question would be, what parts of your job are about to get compressed? Because most AI disruption does not start with your job disappearing. It starts with your workflow changing. It starts with one person can do what three people used to do. It starts when repetitive tasks get absorbed into the tools. It starts when managers expect faster output because AI is sitting beside you. And if you understand that early, you're not powerless. You're ahead. Welcome to the Career Protocol. I'm Rick. I help non-technical professionals understand AI disruption without feeling stupid, overwhelmed, or behind. And today we're breaking down what the latest workforce news actually means for the regular office workers. Not hype, not panic, practical action. So to start out, the news is not saying what people think it is. The easy headline is AI is taking jobs, but that's too simple. The more accurate headline would be companies are redesigning how work gets done. Meta's been reported cutting thousands of roles while shifting workers into AI-related groups and flattening parts of the organization. Wix announced it would cut around 20% of its workforce, about 1,000 jobs, with leadership referencing AI, agility, and fewer layers. Groupon just announced it would cut nearly a quarter of its workflow force as part of a restructuring towards becoming an AI native company. Now, here is where this gets important. This does not mean every person was directly replaced by a robot or a chatbot. That is not how most workplace disruption works. What is happening is more structural. Companies are looking at their operations and asking, can we reduce layers? Can we reduce handoffs? Can one person produce more with AI support? Can routine tasks be automated? Can junior work be done faster by tools? Can teams be smaller but still hit the same output? That is workflow compression. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. So before you panic, listen closely. This episode is not about fear. This is about seeing the board clearly. Because the person who understands the shift before everyone else has a massive advantage. So let's look at what workflow compression actually means. Workflow compression means that the steps between a task starting and a result being delivered get reduced. Let's make it simple. Before AI, a basic workflow might look something like this. Someone gathers data, someone summarizes it, someone formats it, someone sends it to a manager, someone turns it into a deck, someone writes the email, someone follows up. Now with AI, one trained employee can potentially gather the data, summarize it, draft the deck, write the email, create the talking points, build the follow-up plan. That does not automatically eliminate every job involved, but it absolutely changes the value of each person in the chain. The employee who only waits for instructions becomes more vulnerable. The employee who can use AI to move work forward becomes more valuable. That is the difference. Career protection is not about becoming a coder overnight. It's about becoming harder to remove from the workflow. So the mixed signal that no one's talking about. Here's where a lot of workers get confused. Some leaders are warning about AI-driven layoffs, but other leaders and economists are saying the near-term job loss risk may be overstated. Bridgewater recently argued that broad AI-driven labor displacement risk remains low in the near term, partly because compute capacity and broader economy still constrain how fast AI can reshape jobs. Apollo's chief economist has also argued that there is strong evidence AI is currently causing large-scale layoffs and pointed to job creation around data centers, infrastructure, energy, and AI expertise. Sam Altman also said companies embracing AI might be actually hiring and suggested some companies may be using AI as a convenient explanation for cuts that have other causes. So which is it? Is AI killing jobs or creating them? The answer is both stories can be partially true, depending on the role, the company, and the workflow. That is why you cannot build your career strategy around the headlines. You need to build it around your actual work. So the 3 questions that every office worker should ask. Here's the practical part. Do not start with AI, will AI replace me? Start with 3 questions. So question 1, what part of my job is repetitive? Look at anything you do over and over. Reports, data cleanup, meeting notes, email drafts, status updates, documentation, basic research, ticket responses, scheduling. If it is repetitive, it is probably going to be assisted, automated, or compressed. That does not mean that you're doomed. It means you need to learn how to, on your own, that workflow before someone else redesigns it for you. Question 2, what part of my job requires judgment? This is where your value starts to move. AI can summarize, AI can draft, AI can organize, AI can generate options, but someone still has to decide what matters. Someone has to know what is accurate. Someone has to understand the client, the business, the risk, the timing, the culture, the politics, the customer, the exception. That is judgment. If you want to become harder to replace, move closer to judgment. Do not just be the person who produces the report, because the person who understands what the report means is the one that keeps in the position of success. Question 3, what workflow can I improve with AI this week? Not someday, this week. Pick one small task. An example would be turn messy meeting notice into an action list. Turn a long email thread into a summary. Turn a spreadsheet into insight. Turn a recurring report into a repeatable prompt. Turn a policy document into a plain English checklist. This is how you start building career protection. Not by learning everything, by improving one workflow at a time. And this is where most people mess up. They think AI adoption means becoming technical. It does not. For most office workers, AI adoption means becoming operationally sharper. So what this means for junior level, entry level, this part matters. A recent AP report covered research from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York suggesting that rising unemployment among young college graduates may be more connected to remote work and training challenges than AI itself. The study found that unemployment rose among young graduates in remote compatible jobs, while older workers in similar jobs did not experience the same pattern. That matters because it shows something deeper. Entry-level workers are not only competing with AI, they're competing with remote work friction, reduced mentorship, higher employer expectations, experienced workers using AI, companies being cautious with junior hiring. This is why just get a degree is no longer enough. The new career ladder may require people to show practical output faster. That is not fair, but it is useful to understand. If you're a junior, pivoting, or in a repetitive role, your advantage is to become visibly useful. Learn the workflows. Document your process. Use AI to increase output. Build proof. Show that you can think, not just complete assigned tasks. So what to do this week? Here's your career protocol action and plan. Pick one repetitive task. Do not overhaul your life. Pick one task you do weekly. Step 2, use AI to reduce the friction. Ask it to summarize, organize, format, draft, compare, or create a checklist. Step 3, keep human judgment in the loop. Do not blindly trust the output. Review it, correct it, improve it. Step 4, save the workflow. Turn it into a repeatable prompt or checklist. Then step 5, track the result. Did it save time? Did it reduce errors? Did it improve clarity? Did it make you faster? This is how you start building evidence that you're not avoiding AI. You are learning to work differently. So no, I don't think the smartest response to AI workforce news is to panic. But I also do not think the smartest response is comfort. The move is awareness. The move is adoption. The move is learning how work is changing before your company forces you to learn it under pressure. AA may not replace your entire job tomorrow, but it may compress your workflow. It may change expectations. It may reduce handoffs. It may make average output unacceptable. And that is why Career Protocol exists, to help regular workers understand what is happening and become harder to replace. Not by becoming technical experts, by becoming sharper, faster, more useful, and more aware. Start with one workflow this week, just one. That is how you stop hiding from the shift and start building leverage inside of it. If this helped, subscribe to Career Protocol and download the free AI workflow guide, because the future of work is changing. But you're not powerless. You just need a protocol.